It is that time of the year when most of the Chinese smartphone companies launch their new flagship phones. Last month, we got the iQOO 12 series and the Redmi K70 Pro, both having the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset. Now, Realme is all set to launch its first Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 phone, the Realme GT 5 Pro. The Realme GT 5 Pro is set to launch on December 7 in China, and this is going to be quite an impressive phone based on what we know so far. The company has already shared almost everything about the phone, so let us talk about all that we know so far. Starting with the design first, the Realme GT 5 Pro does not look anything like the Realme GT 5, which was launched in August. It has a completely different look than the GT 5. So there is a big circular camera module on the back with a triple camera setup and the LED flash. And I am pretty sure that I'm not the only one who thinks that this camera module design is pretty much identical to the Huawei Mate 50 series. Realme has shared the images showing two color options, black and orange, but there should also be a white color option. On the front, Realme GT 5 Pro has a curved screen with a hole punch cutout in the center. As you can see, the bezels on this phone are incredibly slim. Now, one of the interesting things about this phone in terms of the design is the frame. Instead of going for an aluminum frame as most of the flagship phones, the company went for a stronger aluminum copper alloy instead. And as per Realme, this frame is stronger than even a TENAA grade titanium alloy frame. Now that is a bold claim. Coming to the specifications, the phone has Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset with up to 1 TB storage. Also, the base variant starts with 12 GB RAM and 256 GB storage. The phone also has a cooling system with a heat dissipation area of 12,000 mm², which the company claims is the industry's largest. Now, with this cooling system, the CPU's core temperature can drop by up to 21.8 degrees Celsius. The phone has a massive 5400 mAh battery with 100-watt fast wired charging and 50-watt fast wireless charging. This makes it the first Realme smartphone with 50-watt wireless charging support. Another thing worth mentioning is the USB Gen 2 port on this phone. Now, Realme did not specifically mention which USB 3.2 port it is, but still it is better than the USB 2.0 port. The display on this phone is also top-notch. It is an OLED panel from BOE with a 1.5K resolution and up to 144Hz refresh rate. Now, this is an 8T LTPO panel, so the refresh rate can go as low as 0.5 Hz and as high as 144 Hz when required. And of course, how can we forget the peak brightness, because this is something the Chinese smartphone companies are going crazy with in recent days. The panel on the Realme GT 5 Pro has up to 4500 nits local peak brightness. Along with this, Realme has also revealed that the panel has a global peak brightness of 1600 nits. The company says that this is higher than the competition, where we see up to 1200 nits global peak brightness. Finally, let us talk about the cameras. The primary rear camera on the GT 5 Pro has a Sony Light 808 sensor, which is the same camera sensor that the OnePlus 12 has. The periscope telephoto camera has a 50 megapixel Sony IMX 890 sensor and offers 3x optical zoom. Both these cameras have OIS and EIS. As for the third camera, it is expected to be an 8 megapixel ultra-wide. Realme GT 5 Pro is also the first Android smartphone with a telephoto camera that supports Dolby Vision HDR video recording. Speaking of the pricing, the starting price of Realme GT 5 Pro is expected to be 3499 yuan, which translates to well under $500. Now, even with this pricing, this is still not the most affordable Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 phone in the market, because the Redmi K70 Pro starts at 3299 yuan. But if you compare both these phones, the Realme GT 5 Pro seems like a better value for money, because for just 200 yuan extra, you're getting a phone with 50-watt wireless charging support, a bigger battery, a better cooling system, a periscope telephoto camera and a stronger frame. Also, if you compare the displays on these phones, even though the Redmi K70 Pro has a 2K panel and the GT 5 Pro has a 1.5K panel, the GT 5 Pro still has an advantage of an LTPO panel. So not only the battery is larger, the panel itself should consume less power than the K70 Pro. So in terms of battery life too, the GT 5 Pro is definitely better here, at least based on the on-paper specifications. Now, there is no announcement from the company on the global launch, so it is hard to say whether the phone is launching outside the Chinese market. Anyways, what do you think of the Realme GT 5 Pro? Do let me know via the comment section below, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.